Hello again. I have to make the music a bit. There we go. Okay, we can start. So, this is my third sketchbook. Um, so again, I'm going to show you dates. So, it started on February 19th. No, on the 19th of February. I have a problem with dates, honestly. And I never finished it. This is the only sketchbook I have not finished. And this is my nightmare. It was the worst sketchbook I've ever done, and I was really struggling, and it wasn't fun, and it's terrible. It's even worse than the first one, I'd say. It just wasn't fun. So it was basically black, and I stuck this merch stuff on it that I got at the French convention I was at. I just love this illustration so much. It was so cool. Like, look at I still love it. I just think it's such a cool illustration. So I stuck it on here, on here. It's early. And yeah, and on the back, you can see that it's from Hanamura. So oh wait, I don't think this is the music I want to. Is it? There we go. Okay, so this was from Hanamura, and back then I had some watercolor sketchbooks that I used from them, and I love them a lot. So I thought, hey, since I already had an upgrade from last time, from lined paper to more proper paper without lines, now I was trying to do like the extra upgrade and be really fancy. And I wanted to have very thick paper, and a proper sketchbook with like a mark and stuff. Let's get into it. So, wait, I have to check something. Yeah, so I love the sketchbook. I bought it because it had this pouch, which I thought was cool, and you can see there's like loads of stuff in here still, like stickers and stuff. And yeah, I just thought it was cool and professional because it had this and the pouch and this, and it was fancy from a fancy brand and expensive. And why does my camera get bigger? Never mind. And so I bought it, and it was a mistake because this was not adapted to the mediums I was using, and I discovered that very quickly. So that's why I learned to buy supplies that match my art supplies so that they work together well, because this destroyed my drawing experience. So, starting out, I realized that my fine liners were bleeding a lot in the sketchbook. As you can see, it's very disgusting. It doesn't look neat, it just looks weird and nah. So I was drawing myself basically, and yeah, again planning what I was wanting to do, but I again didn't do it. Next page, I've got testing art supplies, because I started to realize from this, like, okay, this paper's different, and yeah, I tried to rate how well stuff works. You can see there's a lot of stuff in the red, and these didn't work either, so they're pretty terrible. Yeah, and this paper absorbed a lot, and it had a lot more tooth than what I would use normally, and that was a big problem because I was using a lot of fine liners and a lot of markers, and if the paper absorbs a lot, then it's going to be darker and messier, and it's going to bleed. So this wasn't the paper for me. I'm pretty sure this is great for people who want to draw with pencil, but since I don't really like that, it wasn't for me. As you can see, the colours are just so it doesn't work, and I gave up because I was like, this doesn't work. And even like my brush pen, it was absorbing the colours so quickly that I couldn't do like proper strokes. They would just fade out at the end and be disgusting. So yeah, this wasn't the start. Okay, so I tried to do some cool designs. I don't hate this still, I think it's pretty dope, but you can see how dark my Echelon watermarkers are. They were so dark, and they wouldn't be that dark normally. They would, just look at that, because it was absorbing so much, and it was bleeding on the sides, and it was a mess. It honestly was a mess. I was trying to do sticker designs, and I kind of gave up, but oh god. So then I tried out my other stuff, and then I was like, okay, well, if it absorbs so much, then let's check how it works with the other stuff. And it was also pretty bad because all of my markers were so dark. Like, I don't know if you can see it on the video, I don't think so, but it was very dark. So this was my friend, she was drawing something, and it stayed a joke. It's really cute. That was me being like, okay, well, if nothing works, I'm going to use pencil. I hated it, absolutely. So yeah, I tried to do compromises. this worked, but ultimately it's like I didn't learn anything from it. I was just trying to work with a sketchbook in any way possible by not adding too much color. And so that's what I came up with. I do really like this, but I stopped using it at some point because it's just so time consuming and it doesn't allow for a lot of dynamics and stuff. And then I drew this, and again had to realize this was bleeding too much, and I was annoyed, and nothing worked. And then again I tried to use ballpoint pen. So yeah, then I decided to do this like draw this in 10 different styles or something challenge, only with comic artists I did really like. And so this is from Patka, who has a very cool, very cartoony style. From Sigel, who is an American illustrator. From Grelin, he's a French one, but he does anime too and stuff. Philippe and Camboni, they always work together, they make great stuff, and this is just like Jill and Neil, Baldetti, Pilin, Carrion. I don't know how to pronounce it in English because these are French words. Then we've got Sanoé and Loïc Locatelli, Chamblin, and yeah. So these aren't great, but at least I had something to do. I used watercolors for the first time in a sketchbook because I bought this watercolor palette. Yeah, it's aquarelle, but it's watercolors. So it's called White Nights. It's a Russian watercolor thing because my teacher told me that these weren't too bad and they weren't too pricey, and because I didn't want to buy a watercolor palette for too much. This was a sketch for a sweater design I had to do for my class. I don't hate this still. It was a good effort. Again, I tried to work around the thing that I can't use what I normally use, so I used pencil. Yeah, I realised, okay, maybe I should get back to ballpoint pen because this at least can't bleed. And so I drew this, because I was playing Zelda back in the day. So this is Navi, I don't know, it's the fairy thing that accompanies Link. And in the game you can put these fairies, like not Navi, but like other fairies you find into these jars. So this illustration, like, I mean, it's not bad, but it didn't help me in any way. I couldn't sketch freely. I was very restricted in what I could use. Same thing here, it was Rad Hand Day. I do still like this a lot, because of the way the fabric folds. I think I made a pretty good job here. And I do like this illustration. It's not too bad. This is just, wow, like, this is just not what it's not my style. Like, it's way too psychedelic. Like, I wouldn't know. It's too much. This was on Valentine's Day. My friend just bought a sweater that was really cute and had this like lacing detail and was oversized and adorable. Yeah, I gave up so much that I used this sketchbook for my notes in class. So I gave up. I tried to do something again with poses. I just didn't want to. My art teacher at least could use this, so he was giving me again advice about shadows and how to direct the eye of the viewer. And yeah, here again he was trying to tell me something about arrangements. And here we've got me trying to oh god, why doesn't this work? Trying to listen to his advice. And honestly, I do love these, but they aren't too bad. I did this with my colored pencil. And yeah, I tried to, like, I didn't even have references for these. I drew them from my head, so I think for that it's pretty good still. Yeah. I tried to mix my outlines with water. It was absorbed directly and it looked absolutely terrible. I tried to do some poses again and just gave up. And then this question, is this art block? Yes, it is. I didn't know what art block was back then. I had only heard of it from like other very popular artists online, but this is art block. Like I can't do anything. I'm restricted. Yeah, trying to be poetic, but since everything bleeds and everything just doesn't work and it's dark and it's disgusting, it just, no, nothing works. Like, yeah, it's getting worse. Everything is just getting worse. Yeah, I wanted to use this to do digital sketch, but I gave up and yeah, at this point nothing works anymore. Again, trying to be deep. What I do like about this though is that I am improving in the way that I draw bodies and how they move. So this is not too bad, but again, I just didn't want to draw. I just didn't want to because the sketchbook was terrible. This is a page I still do like a bit. I did a digital illustration of this. Yeah, these aren't too bad. I do think they're pretty okay. This is just weird stuff, but this pencil saved my life in the sketchbook because it was the only thing I liked to use and that I was able to use. So yeah, I drew this girl floating around. I've got a very similar thing in a newer sketchbook. It's fun because when you look at all sketchbooks, you can see that there's some motifs you always repeat in your head, but you don't realize until you have drawn it. Yeah, we would on ski holidays. It wasn't interesting. Some people, again, trying to force myself. So again, this is Kyle. This is Aaron. Yeah, this is Erin, but I really wasn't feeling it. I just tried to draw because I tried to force myself, and yeah, this was the guide. Yeah, this is a sad sketchbook because it just shows you that I didn't want to do it. Yeah, I tried to do emotions, couldn't do it. I don't hate this, even though, like, why? What the heck? Like, it's not transparent, but it's not too bad, and I think I was improving, but it was a hard time. Again, you can see, like, I really didn't want to. I didn't care how it looked. I just wanted to finish the sketchbook as fast as possible. These were very old characters I did. These are, I think, the first characters I properly illustrated digitally. I haven't posted them because they're so old, but yeah. They were also originated from a joke I had with my friends. So, especially him. His name's Bob. He's a ghost. He's depressed. So yeah, okay, so this was the start of a daily drawing thing where I just illustrated what I did in my day because I was just so desperate for something to draw to finish this sketchbook that I was willing to grab anything. So here, day 0, so that was the day before I started to do this daily thing. I was at my friend's house. We're sitting in the kitchen having some nudibis on. My one friend just sleeping basically. Me also being very sleepy in the morning and just having breakfast, and my other friend was doing a Sudoku, and it was just very nice, like, warm feeling of just being at home. And so yeah, I was in love with A Day Before. I just thought, like, in love. I was in love back then. No, I was in love with A Day Before Us, which is a mini series. It's like a mini anime, but I liked it because it was motivating me to do stuff for school. Then the next one is Being Determined. I watched some YouTube videos and I danced some ballet, and then again tried to draw something. This was I was drawing, I was animating something at night. I don't remember what it was, but I remember being very motivated. This is when Fridays for Future started being a big thing, and so I stuck it in. Then on this day, I felt very confident, and I was drawing, like, I was preparing my Fridays for Future stuff. This was my sketch for my poster. I still use this poster on demonstrations because I like it so much. I changed stuff up a bit, and I used that green for the life, and so, you know, all the grey and black stuff on the sides is like covering up the green. It has a very, like, deep meaning, and I do really like it. Then my top 5 artists back then. Let's check what I liked. So Tamika, still, again, she's got a great sketchbook, she's got a great style, and she's got loads of fun stories to go with it. Heikla, the person I've got the print from, she just does very, very nice illustrations. The atmosphere, the lighting, and the composition is amazing. Back then, I also like Olivia's Beer. I don't really follow anymore that much because she's pretty similar to Heikla, but, like, with more vibrant colours. Lucas Mendoza, I can't pronounce it. He is a very cool illustrator. He does very futuristic, like, girl characters, like very alien and sci-fi stuff, and he uses very, like, neon colors, very bold colors, and his work is very cool. Then Jenny Yu is amazing. You can't find a lot of her stuff online, but it's so good. She does very good light effects, colors, compositions, and atmospheres, especially, like, the reflections and light is so good. She's actually the person I use the paintings of in my thumbnails for my videos. She is just so cool. And then I've got this person who animates, and yeah, I was proud to have a French animator on YouTube. Yeah, just again here, illustrating what I did. Oh, so this was the day my friend and her boyfriend separated. So yeah, this is very ironic because I had marked the half of the sketchbook, you know, when I was halfway through, because again, I just wanted to finish this. I didn't like drawing in it because it was a terrible sketchbook. So this is very ironic, but yeah, they broke up on that day. Yeah, I think I got a comic or something, I don't remember. But yeah, I was doing stuff. There was drawing. Yeah, I gave up. At this point, I just gave up completely. Then there's blank pages because, yeah, again, tried to pick myself up. Gwen from it. No, I don't think. No, it's this character that I imagined. So this is from Spider-Verse into Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. I always get it wrong. This was probably my art teacher because this is way too professional for me to be drawn. I colored it in afterwards, but to use a stroke that's like thicker there, and then I wouldn't do that. So that's probably my art teacher. People I did. This is basically what I looked like, even though not as cool and badass. So yeah, my art teacher teaching me about like zones and how to lead the eye through the painting and shadows again. This is. Yeah, you can see I am not willing to continue this. I just want to finish this and I am done. This random thing, this is probably the best thing that came out of this. I like how she stands, I like her arms, I like the way I drew her. I think she's pretty interesting. I mean, now I see all the mistakes, but back then I thought it was pretty cool. I still like it. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not great. I think I got inspired by a webcomic I was reading back then that used similar style. So yeah, me working in my comic book store, listening to music, just going and having fun with friends, eating pizza. Yeah, this is fun. I had to draw this Roman emperor and my teacher told me that it was good and I was like, wow, I am amazing. If he tells me I'm good, then that's crazy. We were learning ohm and physics, and my friend and me made a joke, and that's what resulted of it. Yeah, starting to really give up here, just like not caring at all. Just then I tried to be like, okay, yeah, you can do this. Just work your way through. So these again were my characters. So this is Eden. Yeah, she's named Eden now. I'm pretty sure she's named Eden, and then Aaron, who's got a cloak now, and he's more mysterious, but he doesn't look like that. I know what I was going for. And then Kyle, again, he looks grumpy as always, and then tried to do like futuristic city stuff, but it's just a mess, and I didn't really care. Then again, try to befriend my pencil, but honestly, I was just really bored and tried to do like some exercises. This girl, yeah, and then I don't know, I was like, oh, this is going to be my new cool character and he's going to be called Nathan, but I never drew him again and I didn't care at all. This shows improvement though, so I'm not too, I'm still doing this, so this is not too terrible. But yeah, this was me and my friend, we went to this cafe restaurant thing for the first time, and so I drew the light bulbs they had that I thought were pretty cool. But again, it wasn't amazing. Like everything bleeds and it's just annoying. Yeah, giving up. Being like, okay, if I can't do anything, then at least I'm going to practice some stuff. So I did like spatial practices. Again, some spatial practices. This was a bad one, but you know, really not caring anymore. Just drawing random stuff. As you can see, giving up. Oh, we saw this car while I was out with friends, and it looked exactly like this. Like, it was orange and then, like, black with the 7 on it, and then there were stickers here. And it looked so cool, and it was such a cool vintage, like, a nerdy car. It was so cool. I was so like, oh, this person's got style. And then I think that was it. I think, yeah. Then again, my teacher giving me some notes, showing me some stuff again. And yeah, all of this is my teacher trying to explain things to me over and over. And yeah. and that's it. Because afterwards, I didn't want to not use this book anymore, so I continued using it with my teacher to get notes in here, but even he hated the paper. So I decided to stop using it, and that is ultimately the end of the sketchbook. This was the worst sketchbook I've ever used. Not because it's a bad sketchbook, I wouldn't say like, oh, don't buy it. I just say, for someone who draws with the stuff that I draw with, like all my markers and my fine liners, I wouldn't recommend it, because it's not very versatile. It's pretty bad with mixed media, and I dropped it, and it was the worst sketchbook ever. It wasn't fun doing stuff in here. It didn't motivate me. I wasn't able to practice properly, and it just wasn't fun at all. But now moving on to my recovery sketchbook, where I got out of my art block. So, introducing this thing, which is super small and super flat. It's the Sketchbook 3.5. So I bought this with the idea in mind that I didn't want to overwhelm myself with another big sketchbook. So I bought this small one, because then I could finish it a lot quicker, and it wasn't so much pressure on myself. So it's from Dow & Roney. It's a graduate sketchbook. Again, you can see all the stats you need to know here. It's got 140 GM. And it said that it was acid free, and it only had 20 pages, so it was good for everything. So yeah, I decided to buy this because it wasn't very expensive. It was pretty cheap because it's thin. And yeah, so let's go for Sketchbook 3.5, which kind of saved me from giving up on art entirely because it was so bad. So I started out just having fun, just relaxing, just getting back into using everything I wanted to use, because I bought some new art supplies. I bought these brush pens and some colored pencils, and I just took it slow, took it easy. I had some fun. I bought some new pastel markers, and I got into it. So I drew this, and there was really no pressure, because I really wanted to just relax, to draw whatever I wanted to, because I had the freedom again to use all the mediums I wanted to use. So I drew this guy, I drew this guy. This is a joke between me and my cousins. A girl. So here I still do this. Sometimes I use this. If I can find it, I'll show it. I don't think I could find it, but it's not a fine liner. It's a brush pen, but it's a blue brush pen, and I like to use it. And oh, there we go. I found it. It's from Micron. It's this one. It's a Pigma brush. It's not from Micron. What am I talking about? Yes, it is. Oh, I don't know. Never mind though. This is the thing I used. I still use it to this day, and I liked using it and then doing the shadows in light blue. So that's the style of this, and I just liked it because it's so comfortable, and you can allow yourself to make mistakes when you use a brush pen. Then I did this. This was a building. I drew this girl. I was just recovering from my traumatic phase with the other sketchbook. These ones, I bought this pen. So because I bought some art supplies along with this to kind of motivate myself to draw. I bought this, which I used a lot on the sketchbook, and it worked very well. So I do understand why I love this pen so much. I still like it a lot, but it doesn't work in my current sketchbook. I mean, it does work, but not as well. But in the sketchbook, it worked so well. And it was just a really quick way, when I was on the go, to create different thicknesses of lines, as you can see, without having to use different fine liners. So it was just really convenient. Yes, my friend sent me a video, and it was just spiders and drugs. It was so weird. It was fun. And I do like these things, especially this. It's not bad. I like what I did. So this is weird again. I was following this artist, I think her name's Salis Art, and she does very few videos on YouTube. When she does, they're always so cool, and basically what she did was drawing girls, but drawing the clothes first, and then drawing the girls underneath. So I think that's what I did here. So obviously it looks weird because I didn't have a plan where I was going. Then we've got Aaron, and I kind of revised his character. I drew him differently, and he's got his cheek marks now. For all of this, I'm using the same pen that I was describing earlier on. The Amazing Comics with the worst humour are back. This is an allusion to the comics I did in my very first sketchbook. Yeah, you can't really understand. So this was my friend's pen, and it died on that day. Yeah, this is just not fun. So you can see Aaron in different phases of his life, I guess, and like different moods. This isn't great. Looking back at it, I'm like, it's not too great, but honestly, I was improving already so much, so this is not too bad. That's pretty good. I was at a bar with friends, like not friends, people I knew, and it was very loud, and I just took my sketchbook with me. I was like, you know what? I am just going to draw. I don't care. I'm just going to draw this bottle and these glasses, and I really don't care. And yeah. Then, wait. There should be something between this. There isn't. What is happening? Okay, never mind then. So weird. So, this was me going back from my art lesson at night, so I had to wait for the bus. So I drew this person waiting for the bus at the bus station, and I am so proud of this drawing, not because it's so interesting or amazing or it looks good. No, because this person, his anatomy isn't too wrong. He doesn't look too weird. He looks pretty normal. And so I was very happy about that. This was obviously not me. This was my art teacher trying to teach me how to draw this vase with these flowers. So he used some watercolor, just did this very quick sketch of what I was supposed to do, and it still looks amazing. Like this guy just took the color, was just like, and then he drew this. Was on the floor. Oh, there we go. That's the thing I was talking about. So, yeah, I got a bunch of colored pencils from somebody who owed something to me, and so he got them for me, and I used them to just like color this in. It was just a very quick sketch, and I really didn't care. And there's a lot of things wrong with this, but you know, So again, we've got Kyle and Aaron, and I like this a lot. Not because they are drawn so well, or because the scene is so good, or anything like that. I like this a lot because it shows character interactions, because they are interacting together. You can see what kind of friendship they have, you know, how they talk to each other, how they are competitive and stuff. And I like this even more because this was a real conversation we had at the bar I was talking about earlier. So people would just use these these things you put on the glasses and pretending them to be cards, and then we're just chatting like random things and just putting them on top of each other. So like Uno, checkmate, ace, and just like random things. It was so fun. So I decided to draw it. So that's why I really like this drawing. It's fun. It's a good drawing. So this was, oh my god, this comic, it was just so fun. So I had this, it wasn't a friend back then, now she's a good friend of mine, but we knew each other not too well, but a bit. We had some class together, and we liked Steven Universe, both of us, and we bonded over liking Steven Universe, and she just started going on about like how cute Steven was, and it ended up being a bit weird, and I was like, what are you talking about? It was very fun, and then she was like, no, that's not what I meant, I'm sorry. I'm like, sure, of course. And yeah, back then she had her hair dyed that way, but now she's got it in a different colour. This I am so proud of. I am so proud of this drawing. It's still one of the best drawings I've done. This again was in a bus, and this sketchbook was really convenient to draw people on the go, because it was so light and so small. You could just like flip it up and then just draw. And also the cool thing is you could do this. So it was very convenient to just put on your leg, and it was so cool. And so I drew this person on my bus, and it's so good. I love it. It's really good. I used all the right strokes. Again, I used this thing. I still really like this drawing. I mean, there's still some weird things like the ear, but I just captured his personality. And also I drew the cap, and I didn't screw up, so I'm pretty proud of that. So, oh yeah, this was on the plane to, I think this time it was on the plane to New York. Yes, this was on the plane to New York. So I watched Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse again, because they had it on the library in the airplane. You know, you've got TVs and stuff. And so I drew this pose, which I thought was super cool. And then I stopped the film. There's a scene where Miles gets hit by a car, and he just flies up in the air and just lands on his feet. And I stopped the scene every 2 seconds and just drew the frames. So first he flies, then you can see how he like turns around and he kind of does this motion. Oh no, this wasn't the second one. So he does this, then he turns around weirdly, and this is the second motion before he lands, and then this is when he lands. He looks nothing like that, but what the heck? But I like the idea that I was studying the film. Then this was Gwen in this pose, and in this pose, and I used different patterns to do the black part of the suit. This also was from the movie, but it was just like really, I don't really care. And oh, this is one of my favourite quotes from the movie, so it's Peter B saying, "Just be in the moment," and he's like, "I am in the moment, it's a terrible moment." I don't know why I love this quote so much. So then I was in New York, and we had this really great hotel room that was in Manhattan, so I was very lucky. And they had these huge windowsills, like they were big, so I could just sit on the windowsill, and when you would, drawing the curtains, you had this very small, just like closed space, and it was so calming in the morning when everybody was still asleep. I would just sit there and look out of the window and just draw and just listen to some music. So as you can see, I drew this part. I mean, the perspective is very weird in this, but this was an actual thing I saw. This was an actual thing I saw too. So these were like the rooftops of New York. This was not something I saw. This was just something I added because I wanted to do 3 of them, and I already started, and so I had to draw something. So you can see that this is really weird and bad. Then I was super impressed by how New Yorkers were dressing. I was like, oh, they are all so fashionable and so cool and confident with what they're wearing. And honestly, looking back at it, I'm like, this is not exotic. This is just like wearing stuff. But I was younger and I didn't have a good sense for style, so I was just so impressed. And I do like these because they are the start of me drawing people just with fashionable outfits and, being more diverse in what I draw with people. Besides hoodies, because this is really like the comfort zone thing. So we were on the ferry to look at the Empire State Building. Of course, no, we were going to look at the Statue of Liberty, and we were on the ferry. And so this guy was just sitting there. He was pretty disrespectful because he was just putting his feet on the seats, and they were limited. So yeah, but this was the guy, and I liked this for a very, very long time. This was my profile picture for a very long time. Because I just liked how it came out. I was just very inspired by like New York culture and all that stuff. Then the next one was, so there was in Manhattan, there was this very cool shop. It was a bookshop, and it also was an art supply shop at the same time. So you could basically get anything, also like international books and art books of artists I liked. Everything. It was so cool. And there was this brush pen that I thought was super nice, but it was $25. It was a grey pencil brush pen. It was so expensive. It was more expensive than a sketchbook I bought. I was like, no, I'm not going to buy this. Like, no. And I have this marker from Faber-Castell. It's grey. And I mean, you can see the difference of quality, but honestly, I am not willing to pay $25 for this difference. So I didn't really care anymore. So yeah, in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, again, you can see these stickers that he sticks up with his name on it. And I found one of these stickers were everywhere in New York, and I found one of these stickers in New York just stuck on there, but without a name. And so I drew my name on it, and I was so proud. I was like, I left a mark in New York. Wow. So then I just drew this random child, and yeah. This was in Times Square. When you look up, that's what you see, more or less. And this was just random people, and yeah, just random stuff, me trying to draw movements. And yeah, I do really like this. You can see I'm really recovering. I'm doing like proper full-on illustrations. So yeah, she was a character I wanted to add up to my trio. I liked the costume design, and this was like transparent stuff, and she was like a mermaid kind of thing. And she was pretty cool. I liked her hair too. And then I added Kyle and kind of destroyed the entire thing because he looks weird, but I do still like her, like how her lashes are like, I don't know, it was a good drawing. Then I was climbing, so I was back in at home. I was going climbing with a friend, and I drew her just standing there, just thinking about what she should do next. And then, yeah, I bought myself the Echelon pastel set, and they are very nice colours. I especially like these. The purple one, I don't use it so much, but I do use it. The grey is very convenient, and the blue, I don't use the blue because I've got another blue that I prefer, which is not from Echelon, which is from, I think, yeah, it's Tumbo brush. So I prefer this blue to the blue that's portrayed here. So I was drawing this girl. Obviously, I realized halfway, like, oh wait, the arm can't bend, but I don't care. I'm just going to draw it anyways. And so, I mean, I realized that it wasn't working, but I still wanted to finish drawing. I do like this. I like how it tried to you know, do the shadows of leaves, and so it's not too bad. I do like the drawing. This was just me trying something out but not finishing it. Yeah. So some Echelon markers with some Posca pen I bought. It's not great, it's not bad, it's just a cartoon character. And then I started doing something called a Misadventure May, but I gave up halfway. So this was my character. She was like a mage girl kind of thing. She had potions and stuff with her. This was her companion, dragon. And these were people from the bar from the start that drew in my sketchbook. Because I said, like, please draw at the end, because in the middle I'm still recovering and I'm not okay with people just drawing in the middle of it. So yeah, that was, oh my god, what's happening? Why is everything so light? Oh my god, okay. So this was the end of the sketchbook tour number 3. So this, maybe people say, okay, why are you putting this up on the internet? Because it's not a great sketchbook and you're not proud of it, you didn't like it at all, it was a very bad experience for you. But honestly, I think this shows that I had a very, very hard time and a very bad time too, but I got out of it. You know, I recovered and I was okay afterwards, and I learned things that taught me other stuff. So I really am happy to have kept this and not have thrown this out in the trash, because it just tells me, like, you already had hard times. Like, everybody goes through hard times, but that doesn't mean it's not going to get better afterwards. So on these very wise words, I'm going to leave you. Have a great day. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Be creative, have fun, enjoy your process, all of that stuff. I love you. Bye.